Hi, it's me.
Hey guys, EDDBUD here, and it's time for another episode of Running Shoe, yay or nay. We're bringing the horse and the cash register out for another outing. 4 shoes today. Let me know whether they're a yay or nay down in the comments. Before we get to the first shoe, I just need to address an email I've received from somebody, just to put things straight. I don't have a problem at all with Seth James Damore. I've been watching that man's channel since he was repairing washing machine door handles. So, you know, way back. In fact, some of my most favourite YouTube videos of all are Seth James Damore's race videos, where he wakes up in the morning, puts on the coffee pot, goes through all of his kind of preliminary stuff. Absolute gold. So, just want to put that person straight. Don't feel like I have to justify myself to every strange email that I receive, but just wanted to put that out there. Okay, shoe number 1. It's the FreshFoam 880v11 from New Balance. A perfect shoe to start the running shoe yay or nay today. Rhyming, everything I'm saying is rhyming. As New Balance described this one as a workhorse model. They do quote this one at being 248 grams. I think it's about 10.5 ounces in that magical US 9, so it's certainly going to be up there in terms of weight. For me, quite a bit heavier perhaps than other options that I've currently got in the rotation. I'm thinking the Velocity Nitro from Puma and also that Float Ride Energy 3 from Reebok. A 10mm drop here as well. Aggressive stuff. I think that could put a few runners off from testing this one out. Although these do come in a standard wide and extra wide fitting, so runners perhaps with a wider foot, you're well catered for in the 880v11. Certainly some hints of the 1080 here. I mean, just looking at that midsole, it's like a reduced stack. I don't think it's the same stuff. You never know really with FreshFoam, do you? Perhaps if you found the 1080v11 just too much in terms of cushion, the 880 might be a good option. Looking at the outsole on this one, it almost looks like the Streak 7, doesn't it? Very, very similar outsole patterns. Bee-like, I suppose. At 120 Earth credits, I just got too many daily shoes to try and grind down at the moment. Loads of them have similar attributes to this one, so I think I'm probably going to leave this one to some of my ShoeTube colleagues to review. They'll be able to give you a valid opinion quite a bit quicker than I will. So I've got to say, for the 880v11 at the moment, it's a nay from me. Shoe 2. Next up is the ASICS Evoride 2. It's finally landed in the UK for 115 Earth credits. Pounds. They've switched up the midsole material here from the first one that had flight foam Propel. This one's just got standard flight foam. Still using the ASICS guide sole shape though, that rocker in the midsole. Does seem to be a tad more pronounced in terms of the curvature there than the first version. Maybe I'm just imagining it. The stats suggest that it's only a 2mm increase in terms of the midsole height. I don't think it's an optical illusion. I think it is certainly slightly thicker. Though switching up to the softer foam, it's an interesting iteration, this one. I found the original version a tempo only shoe. I mean, some people might even find it a little unforgiving perhaps. Looks like they're trying to broaden the appeal perhaps by including that softer midsole foam. I think even at that lower price here of 115 Earth credits, it's probably going to be a nay from me. I've just got lighter, more nimble options at the moment in terms of midsole and upper. There's just an ocean of running shoes out there right now. Well, it's in fact an ocean of running shoes in here, so I don't think that this one's going to bring anything new to the table for me. Shoe 3. Included in the running news recently, I had the Zoomfly 4. I'm not surprised to see a 4th iteration of this Nike shoe surfacing. People like that React and carbon plate training option, and it's certainly a durable one. It seems like we got the same midsole and outsole configuration here. No changes, only an upper refresh, and that will be music to many people's ears. I hope this sends us back to the good old days of the Zoomfly Flyknit and the Zoomfly Original. I think they were top notch in terms of price and what they had to offer. They really did have something else that other shoes didn't. I still remember beautiful humid nights running along Preston Road wearing my Zoomfly Flyknits. What a lovely shoe. I just remember the quality of them being really good as well. Just out the box I remember holding them up and thinking, wow. And they never seemed to get dirty either. They never ever seemed to have any sort of grime on them or anything. Every time I took them out of the box they just looked beautiful. Loads of miles in that pair. So we do have a little bit of fly knit there around the cuff, around the ankle, and then that midfoot supporting band. Very similar, I guess, to the Zoomfly 3. Apparently a more breathable upper material, and hopefully some better heel lock. The Zoomfly 3 was a bit like a halibut, sort of flapping about on the back of my heel. Yeah, heel lock sadly lacking in that last iteration of the shoe. Hopefully they'll get it right in this new version. I would assume that price is going to remain around about 140 Earth credits. I can't see them shifting that around too much. Still, we got the carbon plate there and React midsole, and this time round, double pull tabs. I think I'm a bit invested into this series of shoes now, so I'm really hoping that it's a better iteration than the last one. So I'm going to say it's a yay from me for the Zoomfly 4. Let's hope that I don't live to regret those words. Shoe 4. Those cats who are fresher than a whole box of mint Aeros, Protos of the gram, have posted some pictures of a brand new Proto shoe. I say it's a Proto shoe, it's actually a retail product, but it's in the same lines as that Vaporfly Next Percent 2 prototype. Look at these amazing pictures of the Nike Air Zoom Maxfly Proto. Double Air Zoom pockets in the front there. A track spike here, certainly with some nods to that Next Percent 2 prototype version. It's got the same colourway pretty much, but it's those orange AirPods. Really does something to me. Absolutely awesome. They do remind me of the ones that they've used in the Jordan 35 actually, in the forefoot and in the heel. They're about the same height actually, if I'm not mistaken. Although in the 35 they're encased in some other foam to protect them a little bit. Here they're just sandwiched between a couple of plates. Well, one plate. Maybe there's something else on the bottom there just to affix the spikes to. I'm sure it's not a plate as such, it's just something to affix the things to. At least that's what Nike probably want them to think. Again, it's that new tech that's featured in basketball shoes turning up in some running footwear. The tiniest slither of ZoomX in the forefoot and the patent sewing box doily laces. Does look like a different material though in the rest of the midsole. Maybe Phylon actually, it does look very reminiscent of the Streak 7. Definitely not ZoomX back there. It hasn't got that telltale creasing that you get out the box. Fly weave is quoted on the upper. Either way, an amazing looking shoe with the hollowed out and solid jewel swooshes. Is that a thing? It is now. I don't need a track spike. Or do I? I mean, when the track's open again, it would be nice to have one pair, wouldn't it? I think if I can track one down when they finally appear, then it's a yay from me. What do you make of those 4 shoes today, guys? Let me know down in the comments. A very quick musical interlude for you. I keep waking up with like a song in my head, and that turns out to be the album that I end up listening to for most of the day. Just stuff I hadn't listened to for ages suddenly comes back. I've no idea why it's happening, but I kind of like it. And the album at the moment is Sparkle Hard by Stephen Monkmus and the Jigs. Every track is great on this album. It's one of those where it's just gold all the way through. I particularly love Bike Lane. It's just really weird talking about how there's more and more bike lanes. I take it maybe in Portland. I think that's where he's living right now. Cast Off is a great intro track to the album as well. I always love the melodies and the lyrics of Stephen Monkmus tracks. They're just so wonderful. He seems to find these tiny little melodies and little motifs that just work so well and stick in your head. And the lyrics are just off the wall as well. But they always feel poignant. They always feel like there's some subtlety there and something from the heart. I can't quite put my finger on it. Really, really nice to listen to. Refreshing and different, and it's not like he's trying to be anyone else, he's just being himself. I think that's why I like it. I really like the track Shiggy, which is just fuzzy and distorted, and it's great. Loads of dynamics in all these tracks. It brings things up, brings them down, and back over and over and over again. There's some really fantastic acoustic tracks on here as well, or predominantly acoustic lead tunes. This goes to show it's not all about fuzzy electric guitars with Stephen Monkmus. He's a fine, fine acoustic player too. So go and check this one out from back in 2018. This one's called Sparkle Hard by Stephen Monkmus and the Jigs. Okay, thanks for sticking with me to the very end of the video today, guys. I very much appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell below for notifications of when we launch those new videos. It helps the channel out a huge amount if you give this video a thumbs up like and also share it with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD and I'll be seeing you. what are you doing here? It's finished. Go and eat some popcorn and watch Line of Duty.